Louisiana beer reviews. Here we are about 8 a.m. We are looking at premium Japanese beer, Koshihikari Echigo Beer. Look at that beautiful label. People doing rice farming. Well, that makes sense that they're doing rice farming because this is a rice lager. Koshihikari Echigo. 5% alcohol. This is a 17-ounce bottle. They're rounding it off because it's really 16.9, but they're saying 17, 500 milliliters. Brewed and bottled by Echigo Beer Company of Niigata, Japan. Imported by Mutual Trading Company of Los Angeles, California. California. All right, let's get it going. This was sent to me by Ken of Massachusetts. Thank you, Ken. I really appreciate it. Outstanding. I got home yesterday and there it was. I said, ooh wee. All right. And since it's an Oriental beer, I'll use a lager glass from another Oriental company, Singa Beer of Thailand, the Kingdom of Thailand. Empire of Japan, here. Kingdom of Thailand, here. Okay. Specially brewed, selected malt and hops. And rice. Grown in Japan. Now there were some guys in Japan, some American guys doing a video of a beer from this company, and they were drinking out of pouring it out of a can. I don't know if it was the same beer. They were saying it was called Blonde. And this might be Blonde in the Japanese language, Koshihikari. But there are very few reviews on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer that I could tell, and they weren't particularly positive. Rate Beer was giving it poor scores. I think it was like 16 out of 100, and Beer Advocate was saying it. They were saying it was good, something like that. But regardless, this beer has not gotten a lot of attention on the internet, at least in America. Now that is a hazy little item. Hey, wait a minute. A thick head, but a hazy beer. This thing must not be too filtered. Straw colored. Golden from that direction. Reminds me of that Prima Pills, Victory Prima Pills. I wasn't thrilled with that beer. It had kind of a gritty thing going, sort of like that Oscar Blues Not Your Mama's pills. Not Your Mama's, yeah, Not Your Mama's root beer. Little yellow pills. It was like grittier. I mean, I didn't hate it. It wasn't like name tag lager from Trader Joe's, but it wasn't too great. Well, let's see how this stacks up against something like Asahi Extra Dry, that rice lager, or Budweiser, the American famous lager using verdant rice. And there was a red, Ken sent me one that was like a red rice beer that was really dynamic, and I think that was from Hitachino Nest, and he sent me a bunch of different rice beers, so it was interesting. And then there's Orion from Okinawa in Japan. Of course, Japan here, China here, Okinawa here. Well, Okinawa is owned by Japan. All right, enough of all of that. It's the last bottom island of the Ryukyu Islands. Yes, it's got that sweet boiled rice aroma. White rice. Doesn't smell old. Now you think it'll come all the way from Japan to Los Angeles to Massachusetts, then down to Louisiana. It would be so old and stale. I don't see a date, guys. Come on, man. Don't these people in Japan watch those videos? Don't they know about the date, guys? I mean, I could go on. I'm going to go on for 10 minutes right now about the date. No, I'm not. But, I mean, come on. Come on, East Asia. Y'all got to start putting dates on stuff. And now that I think about it, I've done a lot of East Asian beers and South Asian beers. I'd like to really get more Indian beers, like the Knockout. There's a beer in India called Knockout. It's made by S.A.B. Miller. Well, you know, now it's probably Anheuser-Busch InBev. That's all going on right here, 2016, the switchover. I noticed a lot of the brands have already been sold off to Winery Exchange. Regia, Extra, and Suprema. Those two Latin American, Central American beers were sold off to Winery Exchange from SAB, so it's breaking up. It smells nice, but it's got that, it's definitely got that rice thing going. That's what makes Budweiser so distinctive. Oh yeah. It's very nice if you like rice. Sweet. And it's like that rice. I know it's not gluten, right? Gluten is like the juice of the wheat, but the rice has its own juicy stuff, you know? And it tastes like that. And of course barley and a little hop bitterness to round it out. A little paperiness, a little bit. Not too much. Mouthfeel is medium, high medium, almost into chewy, but not chewy, but almost, you know, it's on that road. A fairly crisp, refreshing, enjoyable beer. Now, Budweiser, 5% alcohol like this, lighter bodied, a little crisper, but within the same ballpark, in the same, you know, general area. And you know, when you start getting into some of the craft beer circles, you bring up Budweiser, that's like a crucifix to a vampire. They seize up. A lot of them actually they'll have a seizure, and their friends have to take them to the emergency room. But when you really, you know, if you're not content to be a jerk and you're really gonna double down on Budweiser, I mean, that's sort of like the baseline rice beer. You know, you can like pick up a lot of little fine intricacies with that beer. Not if you approach it like a bull in a china shop or a Gemboit. You gotta really like think about it, and you gotta think on it, not just drink on it. But then a lot of people don't even drink on it; they just guzzle it or abjectly ignore it. But this is another one here that you want to drink on it and think on it. And like that paperiness is not like a detractor. And I've observed that with those Latino, the Central American beers. They'll have that thing, and it's like a little tingle underneath, like the paper, and then like a little tingling coming from somewhere. Now, I don't know how much this beer is, but I got a feeling it's going to be a lot more than what I'm comparing it to, because I was at Exxon station on US Highway 190 in Hammond, and they've been selling Budweiser 12 packs for $9.99, which for that beer is a low price. This is probably $6 a bottle or $5.99 a bottle, I would think. You know, you usually run into that kind of price point with these kind of gourmet imports. Well, I think, I don't know where these ratings are coming from, 16 out of 100 and all that. I think it is a fabulous beer. Oh man, if you were eating some Japanese food, like if I was eating like some tempura shrimp, oh, this would just be. And Ken sent me that super gourmet soy sauce. I haven't used it a lot. I don't really eat a lot of Asiatic food, but he might be able to give me some suggestions for using that soy sauce on American cuisine, whatever. But man, I'll tell you that Orion. I need to revisit Orion. That is a dynamite product. It's $3.99 a bottle. I think it's going up at Rouse's, like $4 or something. It's a little steep. But anyway. Rice is your friend. In other words, there are beer companies all over the world that use rice in the brew. It is not like a sin. You know, you can think of Al-Matza from Lebanon. They use rice. It's a fabulous beer. The Birra Moretti. Yeah, so it is done. And if you go to Japan, it is common. I would have to give this an A. It's a most excellent beer. Man, I am just really, if you could probably tell, you know, like really enthusiastic about this. Thank you, Ken, so much. So, laissez les bon temps rouler. Wow. Wow. And y'all come on down to sunny. It'll be up to about 77 degrees today. Dry southeastern Louisiana.